Hello there, welcome to my bench once again. Thanks for joining me. In this tutorial I'm going to tie up another nymph pattern for you. It's out of my book Flies, the Best 1000, and it's under the category of stonefly nymphs, and I thought it's quite a sharp looking fly, and it's called the Bitch Creek. Quite an unusual name, of course, but I thought you might be interested in seeing this one tied up, so I'll get this guy a device. First hook in, we'll get started here. The hook is a Mustad 9672 and I'm tying him on a size 8. So we'll get that locked in the vise here for starters. Get him locked down where I want him. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and our thread of choice is UTC 70 in black. So I'm going to start that thread just behind the eye, about a hook eye length or so. And I'm going to wrap back. Just make a thread base here. And snip off the excess. Okay, and this guy's weighted. And I'm going to put 10 to 12 wraps of .020 lead wire on him. So we're going to start that on here. Wrap that forward. Bind it down. Just like so here. Snip that end off. And I'm going to come back 3 or 4 more wraps and we'll wiggle that end off. There we go. Okay, next step is tails, and I'm using white round rubber hackle, and I have 2 here, and I'm just going to tie them on top here. I'm going to leave this fairly long. You'll see why after why I did that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to bind that down right on top here. Okay, snug that down. What I'm going to do is clip that just so it comes behind the lid there. Just like so. Okay, and wrap forward onto that. Snug it down. Now we're going to bind that all down really well here. Okay. Just making sure that's coming right off the top where I want it. That looks fine. Okay, just bind that all down. Okay, next step is our body, and it's black and orange chenille. And what I do is take one of each strand here, about 4-inch length here of orange and black, and I stripped off the fuzzy stuff, so I just got the thread core exposed to tie these in. And just take the 2 strands of chenille and hold them together. And tie those threads right on top, right behind the lid. Just like so here. So I'm going to move that back a little ways. There we go. And just wrap back to right in front of your tail. Just like so. And bind that down with several snug wraps. Really well. Okay. Now we're going to jump on that lead and secure that down a little better. Wraps in front, come back down the lid, back up once again, and then back down. Then we'll come up one more time and stop where we want to tie off our body. Okay, so the next step is to take your 2 strands of chenille, and I just hold them straight up. Take them in your fingers and just keep twisting clockwise until the 2 colors mix together, like so. I'll twist those together. Okay, now we'll begin to wrap our body here. First wrap right in front of those tails, snug it down. Okay, and just keep wrapping forward, just like so here. And one more wrap. Okay. Now I'm going to tie that off underneath. Couple wraps. Front. Come back and wrap back on it so it's in there good and tight. And I'll turn my vise so I can get at it better and snip that excess off. Get in there nice and close and snip that. Okay, now there's our body. Okay, and I'm going to wrap back onto that. Okay. Okay, next step is to wrap in our I'm going to tie in my hackle, then I'm going to wrap on the thorax. I'm going to tie that in next. Okay. And I want the dull side facing back. And we'll wrap that right on top here, like so. There we go. Bind that stem down with some good snug wraps. I'll come in and snip him off. Okay. Now our next step is to wrap our thorax, and the thorax is just black chenille this time. So I got the threads exposed there to tie it in, and we'll tie that in right on top here, and we'll wrap back nice and tight against the body, just like so. Then come back forward once again, bind that down good. Okay, next step is to wrap our thorax, and we'll just make one wrap in front of the next here till we get to the tie-off point. So go get one more wrap on this guy. Okay, and I'm going to come underneath and tie him off, just like so. One wrap, two in front, a couple more behind it. Then I'm going to wrap back, just like so here. Once again, come in nice and close with my scissors, and snip that out. Okay. And one thing I like to do is I'm going to come in with my scissors, and what I'm going to do, so I got a little better hook gap here for hooking the fish, is just take your scissors and real easy, just shave some of that chenille on an angle towards the bend of the hook. Just sort of more or less shaping it, and on the sides a little bit. Just go easy, don't go too aggressive with it. You can see how that opens up the hook gap a lot more. That's fine right there. Okay, now I'll take the hackle and begin to wrap through the thorax. So just one wrap right in front of the next. And you usually get 3 to 4 wraps through here. Just try to space them out evenly. Now just come back up around. It's fairly short, so I'm going to grab my hackle pliers here. Just bear with me. Grab onto that last one there. Okay. Slipped out on me, so I just got to grab a hold of him again. Actually, I think I can get that with my fingers. And I'm going to come up around, a couple wraps. Tie that off. Nice and snug. Wrap forward, then I'm going to wrap back on it, lock it in there nice and tight. And I'll come in, find that hackle tip there and snip him out. Okay, once I get a hold of him, there he is there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so our next step, I'm just going to pull everything back here, make a couple wraps back. Just like so. A couple fibers there, I don't like those straight fibers, I'm going to snip out. Okay, our last step is to tie in our antenna. So what I'm going to do is just, I want my tail to be a couple hook gap lengths, that's what I want. Then I'll take my scissors and split that. Come with your scissor points and just open it up. Give it a little tug, and there's your tail. Actually, I got it tail a bit too long, so I'm just going to snip it just a bit right there. There we go. Okay, then we'll take this piece that we snipped off, and we're going to tie this in for our antennas right on top here. So bring that in, thread up around, snug that down good, wrap back on it. We get 5 or 6 good snug wraps there. Just like so. Okay. Now I'm just going to pull on that nice and tight. Give it a snip like so. Then what I'm going to do is take my thread and come in and wrap back on these guys just to cover those up, just like so. That's fine right there. Then wrap forward, and I'm going to sneak underneath and make a few wraps in front of those. Back on top, and I got one hackle fiber trapped in there. I'm going to snip it out. There we go. Okay, he's looking good. Now I'm just going to bring in my whip finisher here and whip finish him up, and we'll have another finished Bitch Creek. Let's give him a whip finish, just like so. Okay, snug that down nice and tight. Come in and snip that off. Get our excess thread. Then I'll bring my scissor points in again and split those antennas. Okay, just like so. Give them a little snug pull. And I want those about the same length as the two tails, so I'll snip those off. And there we have it. Done deal. Quite a cool looking fly. That's why I thought I'd share this one with you. Now, all I'm going to do now is bring in my bone dry and cover the thread wraps and cure it up. And we'll be done here. Okay, just work around those thread wraps. Just like so. Okay, that's fine. Okie dokie. Bring in the light, give him a cure here. And there he is. I think it's a pretty cool looking nymph. So, I want to thank you once again for watching, like always. And like I always say each time, if you're a new viewer and you like this tutorial, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really always appreciate that a lot. And I want to thank my subscribers for watching once again. So until next time, I want to wish everyone happy tying, and I'll see you again soon, and so long for now, folks.